which means it's time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor to your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, into a quick, energizing shot. Whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, this is a hole-in-one for your energy game. Let's be honest, some days on the course or off it, you just need a little extra boost to stay sharp and energized. And like, what's the wildest hit shot you've ever made? Was it a fluke or was it a well-calculated miracle? Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors, of course. The grape, ginger, and lime flavors give you the best parts of the clubhouse go-to without chasing the bev cart. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that's the number 5hourenergy.com, you can use promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid through September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. But whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get energizing boost today when you need to power through. Order Transfusion flavored 5-Hour Energy shots today.
All right, the Guardians have played the Blue Jays already.
Okay.
At both home and road, so we will not. The Guardians will not face Shane Bieber
unless it's in the ALCS. You never know.
Yeah. Well, the Guardians are only behind 2 teams now in the wild card race.
The Tigers were sellers last year, then caught fire.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. I mean, they don't have a good team on paper, but man, how bad is the lineup going to be if they trade Quan? I mean, it's bad enough to begin with.
Yeah.
Kafis.
Yeah, we don't even know if he can play.
Kafis.
I don't know. I'd like to see him get a shot, but
Will
we don't know if
Wilson?
he can play in the majors.
Recall Big Christmas.
Don't
Jonathan Rodriguez.
Don't get me started.
Will Wilson. Dom Nunez.
You're turning it a tie.
I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm just saying that's what we're going to see.
I think you're just trying to get me aggravated.
That's actually exactly what I'm
He's
trying to do.
aggravated enough.
Which is not hard to do at the moment. I'm annoyed that the Guardians, what they're doing. I'm annoyed that the Cubs haven't made a big move yet. So I'm unhappy on both fronts. All right, go ahead, Anthony. Where do we go? We're talking about what are we talking about here?
We're talking about Shedeur getting.
What else would we be
reps
talking
against
about?
The first defense.
So this morning, Zach Jackson was on my podcast, and of course we were talking about quarterbacks, amongst other things. And I feel like there's been a negative vibe about Shedeur Sanders lately. Zach actually said he's like, listen, he's not ready to play, but he's pretty positive about Shedeur Sanders, which I don't know. I guess I haven't spoken to him in a week or whatever, or last time he was here, but he actually feels good about where Shedeur is. Like, he's like, the kid's talented. He's just got a lot to learn and a lot to work on, but
Well, the news out of yesterday.
He said that there's been a lot of days where the best throw of the day has been Shedeur, where he's looked good. But overall, the Browns look like crap. The quarterback competition is awful. And the Browns are going to probably be a very bad team.
Well, the news from yesterday was the quarterback shuffle. And it wasn't a differentiation in terms of the order. It was just the first time all camp.
Yeah.
We had seen Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders with the second-team offense go up against the first-team defense.
Right.
And we, as a show,
as
a media collective, not just us but everyone, have argued tooth and nail to the death about the validity of practice videos, practice reps, practice tracking, all that. And while I agree with most of it being, it's practice, I do think it does matter to a sense when you get reps against the first-team defense, whether you're Shedeur or whether you're Dylan.
Matter how.
When you get that opportunity to showcase what you can do against the Myles Garretts and the Denzel Wards and the Greg Newsoms of your team.
But what I'm saying is matter how. The statistics
don't
matter.
Well, that's
what I'm saying all along, Mike. When I say, like, this is ridiculous that people are bringing up.
I'm not talking about that.
You're saying I think this matters. It all matters. It all factors in. It's just the obsession about the statistics is stupid. But of course it matters. Otherwise they wouldn't do it.
Shedeur went, statistically speaking, 2 for 3 with a handoff in his 4 plays against the first-team defense yesterday. The stats itself, once again, mean nothing. These are the 4 plays, by the way, for anyone who didn't see it. He rolls out to his right here, throws it slightly behind Floria, incomplete pass. We'll let them all run through. The next play is a handoff up the middle. Schlesinger, by the way, was able to tackle. He was all over the field. Made a couple hits yesterday. We'll show that video later. The third pass was his best against the 4. Rolls it slightly over, throws across his body to the middle to Laverdian, I believe his name is, for the completion. And then the last completion here is a quick little out route to number 31 on Greg Newsom. Gets it in and out of his hands quickly. down on the sideline, protects him, Newsom makes the tackle. Those were all 4 plays. You saw literally everything Shedeur Sanders did against the first-team defense yesterday, but I did want to show that.
Yeah.
The results, not necessarily important. The fact that he got the first-team reps yesterday, I don't even think it's that big of a deal because Stefanski had told us they were going to shuffle this week, going different quarterbacks, different groupings, all that. However, inside that locker room, when you get a young guy who's not typically going up against the Miles of the world and the Denzels in that first-team defense, and you get a chance to now go up against them, it does leave some sort of impression, and it may not be a gigantic 40-yard bomb that everyone's going to remember. But the fact that he was out there, and Gabriel, and by the way, Gabriel had 4 plays too. He was one of 2 with 2 handoffs, like essentially the same.
Yeah.
Nothing. He threw a touchdown later, but that wasn't in the 11-on-11s. I'm trying to think of the right way to eloquate this. This was not during the 11-on-11 period, by the way. That throw was not part of those. But the fact that he's getting run against the ones inside the locker room, it gives him a chance to showcase, all right, these are some of the things I've picked up in practice. And now Miles gets a first-hand look at it. And on the opposite end of Miles is Isaiah McGuire. Yesterday, it's rotated. They get a chance to see it a little heads up. And this was a touchdown that Gabriel threw to Gage Laverdian, who broke 8 tackles on a 3-yard pass. So it technically counts as a Gabriel touchdown. But
was he just like dancing
Yes.
for a practice?
Yes.
he was. There's plenty of those coming
That
up.
is embarrassing.
They
Are
were
all
doing-
teams doing that?
Yeah, I mean, that's an undrafted rookie.
I'd cut him after that.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
I'm out of my mind because I want to cut an undrafted rookie.
For just dancing after scoring a touchdown in practice?
I have no interest in
No.
a player that's going to dance in practice.
That was one of the 11-on-11 reps that Gabriel took yesterday.
But then again, I'm an old fuddy-duddy, so what the hell do I know? Of course, he was going to eventually get some reps against the first team, and maybe with the first team, especially with Kenny Pickett hurt. You know, Kenny Pickett's not going to practice for at least another week or so. So it was an opportunity to see what he could do against a better defense in obviously an extremely small sample size. I don't know. How much do you take out of it, Jason, if anything?
I'm kind of with you. It was going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
He did fine. He looked fine. The fatigue of all of this is already wearing on me, and it's July 31st.
We haven't even got the joint practices
I know.
yet.
I'm kind of what I'm looking forward to.
Well, I'm looking forward to real stuff.
Right.
Like that's more.
Right.
And at least there was tackling here, so that's an improvement on what's been.
Yeah. I wish I was going to Carolina and Philly. I'm not going.
No.
But I would. Let's see how they look against other teams now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of at the end of analyzing and scrutinizing every single handoff and every single throw
Right.
where we're at.
And listen, neither of the rookies is going to play week 1 unless the other 2 quarterbacks are hurt. I think that's pretty simple to me. I don't know. You look hesitant, like it could be.
There's a stupid fly real quick flying around.
Yeah.
At some point, it's right on your chair right now, Jason.
I mean, my ADD is all over the fly.
I think I may have got it.
I don't think I think it's a non-zero, but I think it's unlikely that a rookie will start. I don't think it's 0. But
man, that's going to be ugly if they start one of those rookies in week 1.
I don't think it's likely.
Yeah.
Not saying it's going to happen. I just wouldn't sit here and totally rule it out. That's all.
All right. I don't know.
Listen, I've been the Pickett guy, right?
Yeah.
Like I've been labeled as the Pickett lover
Oh,
and all
yeah.
of this.
Which is funny because you don't even like Pickett. You just keep saying, I think he's going to start.
Yeah.
Not that you're standing on the table saying Kenny Pickett's the best of the 4.
Right.
Which you've never said once in the history of the show.
No, but I if you make me pick right now, I kind of still think it's going to be Kenny Pickett.
But he's hurt.
It's not that bad.
But if it's a hamstring injury, it's got to be.
It's July. If Lamar Jackson pulls a hamstring right now, are you worried about him starting week 1?
No, but Lamar Jackson has his job locked up.
Yes, but I'm saying it's July 31st. He's a veteran. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think he's going to be back within a week. If you miss a week and a half, if you're a veteran, miss a week and a half in July, is it that big of a deal?
Is he only going to miss a week and a half?
We'll see.
For a hamstring injury?
He's coming. At first, I was kind of under the impression it was kind of severe.
Yeah.
But it sounds like he's making great progress back from this, so I think he's going to be back faster than anticipated.
The way Kevin's talked about it does not sound like he anticipates Kenny being out for a while. I mean, did you listen to his press conference yesterday, Bull?
Yeah.
I know he doesn't say a ton, but I did not get the sense
he left the
was.
impression he's going to be back sooner than later.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just still stunned by the whole Kenny Pickett thing. I just don't see. I know Aditi loves him. I don't see what anybody sees in him. It's just, to me, it's not there. And certainly doesn't mean I'm right.
For the record, I'm with you.
I just don't see it. I don't see anything special about his game at all.
Well, I don't think they're looking for the quarterback that's going to carry them for the next 15 years with him.
Right.
I think they're looking at the quarterback who can carry them for the next 5 or 6 weeks.
I just think if you don't care about winning, and it's all about trying to find if you have a quarterback to play the rookies, and if you do want to win, if your goal is to win,
yeah,
at least if you're the coach,
Flacco.
Nobody can convince me, and I'm not that high on Flacco.
Flacco hasn't been that great either.
But I can't be convinced that he's not a better option.
Flacco
than
wasn't
Pickett.
great last year. Flacco wasn't great last year.
I know. I don't think he's very good, but I can't be convinced that
aside
Pickett's
of that
better.
Burst with the Browns.
Yeah.
He's been bad for 6 years.
Yeah, kind of.
I hear you guys. I just don't think. I think Pickett's worse.
I'm right in lockstep
Yeah.
with you. And it's funny because we haven't seen Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders on an NFL field yet.
Right.
Haven't seen it. We have seen Kenny Pickett on an NFL field in 30 different starts. He has 29 starts in his career.
Yeah.
I did not get that fly.
Guys, here's the bottom line. This is a very bad football team.
Well,
you never know. Like, if they play this season 100 times, maybe there's one time where they have a shockingly good season and win 9-10 games and make the playoffs, because there's always the anomaly, right? If you played this season 100 times, if you, did a computer version, 96% of those times, you're winning 6 games or less.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of those significantly less. There's no reason why the Browns can't be the worst team in football this year.
They have the best odds on FanDuel to be the last team to win a game this season.
Because the start of
well,
the
part of that's their schedule.
Well, but I'm just saying that's never a good thing to be at if you're trying to be a good football
what teams
team.
are you sure? What teams are there any teams you feel confident in saying will be worse than the Browns? I think the Saints are going to be really bad.
That was the first team that came to mind.
That's
the Saints.
the Saints. But am I sure they're going to be worse than the Browns? I don't know. They're in a crappy division.
No, I think the Raiders could be frisky this year.
The Raiders, they got a competent quarterback now.
Geno Smith, Gentry, and Brock Bowers.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not,
assuming Gentry.
Bowers, in the next couple of years might be the best tight end in football. Gentry could be the best running back in football. He's a rookie, so he's got to prove it. And Geno is at least adequate.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think the Raiders are that bad. I don't think the Patriots are very good, but everybody's high on their young quarterback, and he showed some signs last year.
The Giants' defense should be good. Their offense isn't very good, but their defense should be good.
I think Vrabel will help the Patriots.
Probably.
Immensely.
I think the Giants stink. I think they're going to be really bad.
What about the Vikings with McCarthy?
No, they won't be bad. They're a good team. They got a good roster.
They're really good everywhere else but quarterback.
I think they'll take a step back, but I don't think they're going to be bad. I mean, who else is
the Titans? If you don't think Cam Ward's any good, but
even if he is good, I mean,
I think they'll be bad, but I don't think they're going to be worse than the Browns. And
the Saints are the only other team I think on that.
The Saints are horrible.
Yeah,
they're
the least talented team in football, in my opinion. The Saints.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We don't know enough about their defense. Do you? I mean, I don't know. I'm not paying attention.
I know some of the names.
I know Alvin Kamara is better than anybody on the Browns offense.
Yeah, and their offensive line's not bad, but they just
I don't know. Yeah,
defensively speaking, they have.
I don't know.
All their best players are old.
They have a terrible quarterback situation, obviously.
Myles Garrett's better than anyone on their defense.
Well,
in the league.
He was better than anyone on anybody else's defense last year.
I'm saying him and Denzel.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would be the two best players.
If the rest of the defense stinks, it doesn't matter how good Myles and Denzel are. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying it doesn't matter. A couple of good defensive players don't matter if the rest of the defense stinks. But, yeah, I mean, the Browns are going to most likely be one of the 5 worst teams in the league. And there's no team, including the Saints, in my opinion, that you can clearly say is worse than the Browns. So we can, dicker around with the quarterback arguments all we want. The only way the Browns probably surprise is if either their defense plays at an all-time great level, as they did for a while 2 years ago, or the rookies, or I'll even say Kenny Pickett, shock us and play great, which both those scenarios seem unlikely to me.
The whole point of this 2025 season for Cleveland has to be to figure out who can be part of this team moving forward and who can't be part of this team moving forward. Which of the young guys are building blocks that we could assemble the roster around, whether that's at the quarterback position, the running back position. Every receiver outside of Judy's on the chopping block, for lack of a better word. You got your tight ends, your offensive line. There's going to be a ton of change. Your defensive line's kind of set. That's probably the most set in stone position group for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
But linebackers, secondary, there's going to be a ton of turnover on this team over the next 2 seasons. Like 2025, you have to figure out which one of these guys can play and we want to invest in, and which one of these guys are we willing to move on from and draft their replacements. Wins and losses be damned. Like, I think that at the end of the day is the most important objective.
The only thing I'll say to that, though, and I get where you're coming from, and I think I try to, a lot of times I think of it clinically. It's like, well, there's no point in winning 6 games or 7 games or 8 games. You're either winning the Super Bowl or at least being a contender for the Super Bowl, or you might as well suck. Guys, I think sometimes we forget that there is a percentage of the fan base that just wants to have fun and watch their team win a football game, even if it doesn't mean they're a real contender.
I agree.
And so this constant, we just got to suck. We just got to suck for the draft pick.
I'm not saying
it's draining on a lot of fans.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. And you hope that these guys are better than you anticipate, and you don't suck going through that process. But if you're going to get to the point where you can have a sustained winning culture and a sustained winning franchise to where year in and year out, we're not talking about the Browns the 23rd best team or the 19th. You want to get into are the Browns the 6th best team, the 4th best. We're arguing the Browns got left out of the top 10 ESPN power rankings. They're at 11.
Yeah.
That's back to where we started this show at.
Right.
To get to that point, you do have to go through some roster turnover. And unfortunately, right now, because of the salary cap, because of the ramifications of the Deshaun Watson trade, which set this franchise back 3-4 years at a minimum.
More than that.
You have to go through the phase they're at right now to get back to where you want to be.
Well, yeah, and until they get a quarterback, they're never going to be on that list.
Yes.
Right? Never. It doesn't matter if the rest of the roster is good. And right now, it's not. I'm thinking right now. Think about this. 2027, that's only 2 years from now, right? How many guys on this current team are you confident in saying that guy's going to be a starter in 2027?
Did you see my tweet? I tweeted that yesterday.
Oh, did you?
I literally tweeted that yesterday.
That's funny.
We're going to do it as a topic next week, but we can do it right now.
All right. Offensive line. DeJuan Jones.
2 years from now?
Yeah.
Confident as a starter?
Yeah.
I have 0.
Yeah, I'd say DeJuan.
I'll say DeJuan.
DeJuan, it's just a health with DeJuan.
Right. I'm gonna say
then
health
DeJuan.
aside.
DeJuan.
If the guy's healthy, he's going to be a starter.
Yep.
So DeJuan, that's one. Quarterback, nobody.
None.
Running back, I want to say Judkins.
I'm
probably Judkins, but
it's Judkins.
Judkins
so we'll say Judkins.
and Sampson will be on the roster.
Yes.
I agree. Wide receiver,
Judy and nobody.
Judy and nobody. How old's Judy? He's young enough.
He's
that
young
he'll
enough.
still be a
He's
starter
young
in
enough.
2 years.
Yes.
I think
Jason?
Tillman could do it.
Tillman's done.
You're confident that Cedric Tillman's going to be a starter?
In 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not confident he's going to be on the team in 2 years.
Let alone a
I'm with
starter.
Jason. This not could they be in.
That's PTSD.
Confident.
That's Cleveland PTSD right there talking.
I'm not sure he's going to start this year.
Tight end,
Fannin.
you're confident he's going to be a starter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're going to run a
He's
two-tight end
very
system.
raw.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to learn.
Okay.
Which in 2 years is when he should be peaking.
I'll be optimistic, and I'll give you a Fannin, too. I'm not completely convinced, but okay,
So
I'm
what's that,
optimistic
4?
about it.
We're up to 4.
So
Yeah,
that's
Judkins, Judy, DeJuan, Fannin, 4. And Sampson if we want to put him on the roster, 5.
yeah,
Wait, is it starter or roster? You said starter, right?
starter. Well, or key contributor. Well, Sampson's fine.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now, of those 5, 3 are rookies who have never played,
Yes.
That's kind of fun.
and one's in trouble off the field.
Yes.
But this is also a regime that rarely cuts its own. So 2
That's
years
true.
from now,
Yes.
they're
That's
still
true.
going to be here.
Okay, on the defense, Myles Garrett,
Miles.
Mason Graham,
Mason Graham.
Mike Hall Jr.
You're confident in Mike Hall Jr. being at least a key contributor in 2 years? I think there's a good chance
Yeah.
of that. I'll go
He's a
with you there.
second-round pick. He better be.
I actually think on the defensive line that they're in decent
that's
shape.
a good spot, yeah.
I could see either. I could also see either Isaiah McGuire or
Alex Wright.
Alex Wright being here too. Not definitely, but I could see
Yeah.
them. So they're in decent shape there. At linebacker, Schlesinger.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
Secondary, Denzel.
He'll be on getting old.
Getting old, but 2 years he's still a starter.
He'll be here.
Anybody else?
No one else going to take the contract with his head injury. It's history.
Yeah. Anybody else on the secondary?
You can talk me into Delpit if you want.
No.
I'm not.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how many guys?
10 guys.
That's actually more than I would have guessed.
And we included.
We bent the rules on a couple
Yeah,
of
we
those
bent
guys.
the rules a little bit. But that's 10.
Zinter's probably there too if we want to be on.
No way I'm counting him.
No.
Okay.
No way.
So we're at 10 then.
Yeah.
We're at 10 then.
So that's 10. And how many are rookies? 1,
Schlesinger,
2,
Graham,
3.
and the 5. Half those are rookies.
Yeah. So 5 have never played. So you have 5 guys on this roster that have played in the NFL that we're confident will be either starters or key contributors.
And one of those 5, DeWand, who we all think has a ceiling that's up here, has struggled to stay healthy his entire career.
That's right. And another one is Mike Hall, who's been in trouble with the law already.
Yes. And Quinshawn, who's not even signed.
Well, he's one of the rookies, but yes.
But I'm just saying.
Yes.
Yes.
So, yeah. I mean, now, maybe if we went through other teams, it wouldn't be that much more on other teams. I don't know.
No, it's not for every team, but my Eagles buddy tweeted back at me.
Yeah.
It was like 22. Not all the starters, but
don't be so obnoxious, Eagle fan.
it was. And I hate the Eagles with the passion.
Steve Becker is hard to take.
Steve's going to text us in 1 second with.
Oh, my God. He's so obnoxious with his Eagles. That's why I'm rooting for his Phillies to shit the bed because I want the rest of the teams there to suck. Sorry, Steve. The Mets are the winners of the deadline right now, not your Phillies. Oh, the Phillies got Duran. That was a good trade. Yeah. Especially after they gave 7 runs in their bullpen yesterday. But their lineup's getting old, Steve. Sorry.